Bat music.
He's not a bat, he's a man who fights crime. And we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time. With John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat
Minute! Greetings, citizens of Gotham, and welcome once again to Bat Minute Returns, the show that will be the catalyst in the Great Penguin Uprising. I am one of your hosts, John Parker.
I am the other host, Niall McGowan.
And I just realized Gary and I didn't say who would go first in introducing ourselves. I'm Tierney Steele.
And I'm Gary Roby.
Whoop, a returning guest and a new guest.
Oh, yeah. Old blood mixing with the new blood. There's a bloody mess down here is what it is.
Oh my god.
There's about to be in this movie, I think. Things are heating up.
Oh, yeah. This is actually the beginning of the week, like, this next few minutes. I think this is, like, the week that would split audiences. Because this is, like, when people who really hate Batman Returns talk about what they think is bad about it, it's usually this scene, where it's like, that's a bit where the Penguin's talking to a bunch of penguin people with torpedoes in their backs and stuff.
I'm sorry. There are people that hate this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Is that allowed in life?
Not by my rules, no.
It's one of those things, like, I didn't realize until I got, like, properly on the internet, you know, in, like, the realms of, like, talk-back discussions and comment section and stuff. So there's a couple of movies I didn't realize until, like, adulthood that people really hated. Like, you know, Ghostbusters 2 and things like that. Where I was like, oh, everyone loves Ghostbusters 2. And I found out, apparently, no, they don't.
Oh,
and, yeah, this is one of them. I was stunned to see people, like, really... Like, people in talking about, like, Batman and Robin, they go like, yeah, Batman and Robin's stupid, but it's not as stupid as Batman Returns and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's the Wild West out there.
Okay. I have the word loves 4 times on this first page of notes that I'm looking at right now. So...
Beautiful.
Oh, you're going to fit in around here then. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Oh, boy.
Oh, actually, I should introduce the minute. I've just realised. Hang on. This is minute 103. And it starts with the old sneaky, and it ends with the Penguin declaring, "Not one step back," which is the strangest reference I've made there to Joseph Stalin. I probably shouldn't be.
Weirdly enough, not the first.
Not the
first.
And there will be many more to come.
We do get here, the beginning, the first... Well, not the first, the last shot of Vincent Schiavelli for this. This is our farewell to the organ grinder.
Press F to pay respects.
Yeah, as it gets yanked off screen by Batman. That's not a euphemism, but he just literally yanked out a shot.
I was thinking to myself, should I come in and make a joke here, or would that be inappropriate?
But yeah, just thought so one thing we never mentioned about Vincent Schiavelli is, we talked about his distinct appearance and whatnot, and that was what he's well known for, like his sort of sunken eyes and the dome head and stuff. But we never mentioned that, much like one of his friends, Danny DeVito, who of course has Fairbanks disease, which is why Danny DeVito is so short. The reason Vincent Schiavelli looks like he does is because he actually also had a thing called Marfan syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a genetic disorder between the connective tissue. And the people who are afflicted with that tend to be tall and thin with, like, flexible joints and get scoliosis and stuff. That has effects on their heart and whatnot. But because of that, I was like, because that's what added to his distinct appearance. I looked into some other celebrities who also have the same affliction. So other people with Marfan syndrome include Jonathan Larson, who is the guy who wrote Rent.
Yeah. I'm going to see Rent in a few weeks. So.
Of course, appropriate enough that you're here, Gary, because the Rent movie was directed by Chris Columbus.
Yes,
who, of course, did the first 2 Harry Potter movies. It was also some YouTuber I keep hearing about, but I don't know who he is, called Troy Sivan. Also has Marfan syndrome, but I think the kids know who that is. I don't know. I have no idea who this person is.
No, I don't know that one. I'm obviously not hip anymore.
And the only other one that I really recognized was Javier Botet, who is kind of like the same kind of roles that Dougie Jones would get, who also was in this movie, Dougie Jones. It was in this minute, Dougie Jones, actually. But he was in It. He was the leper. To the big, tall, gangly leper. That was him. He's also played Slender Man in Slender Man.
Of course. Perfect.
He was the crooked man in The Conjuring 2. And he's also featured in Crimson Peak. And as people who have seen the original Spanish version of Rec, I'm assuming you call it Rec, like dot Rec.
I've only ever heard people say Rec. Yeah.
Yeah, but they always put the dot in when it's written down. So it's like, are you supposed to say dot Rec? Or, I don't know. But he was the thing at the end. Like when she's trapped in the dark and there's this kind of really terrifying thing in the room with her. That's that guy. And he also has Marfan syndrome. And that's obviously benefited him because he's made a career out of playing these really tall, gangly, strange-looking things.
That's what I couldn't get over reading about Vincent Schiavelli. It's like, oh, and you just became a star.
As you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, then tragically, as we mentioned before, though, Vincent Schiavelli no longer with us. He passed away in 2005, aged 57.
I always forget he's gone.
Yeah, but the thing is, legacy is not forgotten, because even the recent Hey Arnold movie, like Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie, because Vincent Schiavelli used to do voices for Hey Arnold, that movie is made in tribute to him. At the end, it comes up in memory of Vincent Schiavelli and stuff. So
was Vincent Schiavelli the one who was in some Buffy episodes?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
okay, good.
He's the gypsy guy who curses Angel.
The
I think.
uncle.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Sorry, I hadn't written it down. I'm like, there was something else here. Yeah, because then I was like, monkey. And then I started thinking about Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it was all over. So
that monkey is pretty distracting. He's cool. We love this monkey, and he, much like the one in Raiders, he's not evil. It's not the monkey's fault. He doesn't want to be caught up in this.
The monkey's just doing his job to the best of his ability.
Yeah, and succeeding. He's doing very well.
And he's about to be very brave in the next set piece here.
Aww.
I'm assuming everyone found this trivia, right? About the monkey making a special delivery.
Oh,
to Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I don't
Okay.
know this.
Yeah, I was going to say when you were saying about like, oh, this monkey's not evil. I was like, I know one man out there who might think that this monkey's pretty evil.
I don't think that counts as evil.
He was scared.
The poor little thing. Well, speaking of scared, though, the organ grinder again here, right? He is staring at Batman's shadow from the previous minute. But then he gets grabbed from above. Batman is very tricksy. Like, this is some David Copperfield stuff going on here. How's he done this? Has he got like a bat projector?
Yeah, it's like Peter Pan.
Ah.
Oh, his shadow's separate from him.
That would be amazing. That would be great, like Dracula.
I always just took it, though, it just meant that he's looking forward, right? And he's got like an open top thing around him. I just thought that the shadow is just because Batman's standing above and behind him, so he's just seeing the shadow projected. And that's him like, oh, and he's kind of realizing, oh, this guy's right behind me.
Frozen in fear kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then Batman just literally leans down and picks him up and stuff. Like,
That
that was my takeaway from it, but...
And I'm sure Batman puts him down, brushes off his shoulder, and says, you need to live a good life. Turn away from your life of crime. Everything's going to be fine. And gave him, a few bucks and sent him on his way to a happier life.
Oh, yeah. This Batman certainly doesn't go around murdering everyone in sight.
No. This is a kid's movie, isn't it?
We've come to question that throughout this show. We knew it was intense, but oh my God, some of the stuff from the Penguin.
So, just I know you guys have probably already talked about this, but because this movie came out in June 1992, I just want to point out I have an August birthday, and my seventh birthday was entirely Batman Returns themed.
Yes.
And Catwoman themed. And like, no one saw anything wrong with the fact that a bunch of 7-year-olds were running around with like imagery from this movie.
Essentially in fetish wear and with a whip.
I know, I can't imagine that any of us had actually seen the movie. We just loved Batman, and there was new Batman and Batman everything.
I certainly, as a kid, didn't question any of that. I didn't think it was like any weirder than any other Batman stuff. But when you look at it now, it certainly is.
Catwoman likes cats. There's an army of penguins. Kids movie.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
You must be surprised though what kids will sit through, because like again, I was always surprised. Like I visited one of my brothers like recently, and he has a girlfriend who has two like small children. They're like 6 and 7 or something, and they're into Batman versus Superman. But like if I watched that movie, I was like, this is like a really boring adult movie.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much talking and pondering about like the morality of Superman and all this stuff, and there's things about, I know Holly Hunter's talking about her Lex Luthor pissing in a jar and all this. Like, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I was just like, no way a kid's gonna sit through this. And then they love it. They're like, oh yeah, I love that movie. And like, you actually Batman versus Superman, this really slow, boring plot through this whole plot. Like, that's why after like not gonna say any spoilers now because it's still fresh out. But like with got out of Avengers Endgame last night. I was like, it was brilliant. But I was like, I don't know if you take kids to that though, because the first hour of it's all talking. Like there's a lot of just talk. I was like, kids wouldn't be. It's not as zippy as the other Marvel movies. There's a lot of just like, we've got a lot of stuff to deal with here. So just sit back and listen to people talk for a while.
Oh yeah, 3 hours long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some movies fly by with 3 hours, but that's pushing things a little bit for a superhero film. I don't
Any
know.
of the Avengers movies have ever flown by, even the good ones.
Yeah.
I would say it doesn't, not in a bad way, but like afterwards it feels like you've been through the ringer. Like it feels like you've watched an entire season of a TV show, basically.
You've been through the same battle they have.
Yeah, there's none of that 3 hours is wasted. Like there's always something happening. So at the end, you're just like, oh my god, that was a lot to take in.
But no one has a cool, fun umbrella, so
That
where's
is
the
true.
other tie-ins?
True. They should have manufactured some official penguin umbrellas.
Oh.
You'd have
That
had
would've
like
been
little
amazing.
kids running around with umbrellas. That would have been amazing.
And be like, that's a way to keep them dry as well. So it's like, functional and fun.
And fun.
That's your tagline and everything. Oh my god.
Oh, well, back in the minute here. I love how the monkey is just sitting and watching as the organ grinder gets lifted away. Because he looks kind of concerned, but he's also not going to do anything about it. He's like, well, that's a shame.
Very
Well,
small.
there he goes.
Yeah. He's like, oh, what a pity.
Guess I'm on my own now.
He'll be fine on his own. He looks like a
He's
streetwise
got a
monkey.
new job immediately.
Yeah. Maybe, does he just get promoted?
Well, that's the thing. I do wonder, like, the aftermath of this scene is that, like, well, you're joking about Tierney saying, like, oh, Batman clearly just gave this guy a couple of bucks and sent him on to a better life. Whereas, I was even stunned reading, like, the organ grinder wiki entry where they're saying, like, oh, yeah, incarcerated. Like, that's his current condition. I'm like, if you didn't see him with this Batman, he's probably dead. Like, that's what happened to him.
I thought he just, slit his throat and threw his carcass into the river.
And the monkey just runs up and tugs on his cape like, excuse me. That was the guy taking care of me. And Batman's like, it's okay, monkey. I have a job for you.
Wouldn't it be great, though, if in the next movie, Batman had a monkey on his shoulder all the time?
Oh, that was Robin.
Down.
That was Robin.
Into it.
This is the real Robin.
That was the only way Tim Burton's like, I don't like the Robin character, but if I could
Robin
just make
had been
him
a monkey.
if I could make him funny but also not talk, that would be great. And I was like, what if he's just a monkey?
That is an improvement for the character, I think.
This is one we should be just pitching DC. Is like, I know your Nightwing comics are selling well and stuff, but like, the hell with this Damian Wayne kid. Have you considered Monkey Robin?
I'm now just picturing, oh shoot, what's the one with Anna Diop? And, it's not Teen Titans Go, but you know what I mean. The new show.
Yeah.
And now I'm just picturing a monkey like driving that car.
Yes. It's
Beautiful.
got to happen.
I mean, they had that monkey in Umbrella Academy, I guess. I guess he's doing pretty. That's like Alfred Monkey. They have that.
Yeah. Why aren't all of them just monkeys? Let's replace most of the cast with monkeys and apes and all kinds of things.
That's the one thing about that show is it's like, holy crap, Netflix spent money on that monkey in particular. Like, you look at him, it's like, this is like new Andy Serkis Planet of the Apes level, like impressive CGI.
That's where all the money for the new Santa Clarita Diet's bloody gone since they've cancelled it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the wound's still raw with John here this morning.
Yes. As of recording, it was announced today, so I am furious. I'm
worried now because I know Gary's just got out of bed and he's just like, you haven't heard? He's like, what? They've cancelled it.
I haven't watched
gonna
that
say-
show yet.
I don't think Gary's awake enough to like be processing.
It is early where I am at, but it is good. Netflix has been canceling a lot of stuff lately. It bums me out.
Yep.
Yeah, like I was just talking to Niall about this off mic, actually. The whole appeal to me of Netflix was knowing that they, in the past, always would finish a show. Like,
Yeah.
even if it just got one finale, like big episode, they would finish the show. But now they seem to just be cancelling things left and right. And it hurts the service because in the future, if someone's like, oh, I'm going to watch this, and then they hear, oh, it doesn't actually have an ending, though, they cancelled it. Oh, I won't bother them.
Yeah.
Still, because again, it only came out like this week. The whole business of since the cancellation of Daredevil as well. It's like, yeah, it's going to be like for legal reasons as well. You're not going to get anything on any other service for at least like 2 to 3 years before they can even start like production on something. So like it's kind of at that point. It's like they probably won't be making any more Daredevil with that guy, at least anyway.
Yeah.
They'll probably wait like 7 years and then reboot it entirely or something. But it's like, damn it, Netflix! You just you had gold in your hands. You just threw it in the toilet.
That's more things to infuriate me. But back here we have.
I was just gonna say, are you gonna use toilet to transition back to later?
Oh God, I wasn't. I wish I was gonna now. Oh my. But we cut back to the Penguin, and he's keeping Max Shrek captive in the cage, and he's bizarrely kind of demonstrating what he's going to do in his plan. You know, like, right this way, kiddies, come with me. Just lead them with his mobile into the toxic waste / water. Has he put the waste in there yet?
I think the waste was always in the water.
Well, I thought that, but in the upcoming minutes, I have something that seems to suggest maybe otherwise.
I think would it be what I think we talked about way at the beginning of the movie is that like that water is supposed to be filled with toxic waste, yet the penguins are just swimming about in it.
They're all fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that was a thing we brought up ages ago. It didn't make sense then.
No.
And it makes even less sense now.
It's going to make a lot less sense.
Yeah.
But Danny DeVito's acting here, all I could think of was him in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when you may have to edit this out, when he's doing the little bit where he's like, don't diddle kids. He's doing the same little dance.
This is kind of ironic that like, one song was talking about not diddling kids, this one's talking about murdering kids. So it's...
I had completely blocked out everything that was happening before the monkeys showed up. I'm just like, the umbrella, I have the setting, but then I immediately went to questioning when Batman had stationery made up, who printed that, but didn't notice that it was delivered to Wayne Manor. Did he have to like do the thing where he orders it in Alfred's name? I don't know. But
oh, yeah. It'd have to have a cover.
It's a very polite note, which I was pleased by.
Yes, he is
And
very
it's-
polite.
No, I always bring it up because even though it's been disproven, the first time I ever heard was, oh yeah, people who write in all capitals are actually geniuses.
Oh, I'm a genius then. Thank God.
And all my friends were like, I just was in the military and that's what they told me to do. But I just, if you're out there and you write in all capitals, you can just tuck that in your back pocket.
Oh, yes, that's made my day. Because I do it because my handwriting's so terrible nobody can read it. So it's like, well, this way they might be able to read it.
I always had the thing, like, I switch back and forth sometimes mid-word.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's only afterwards. And it's annoying, too, because I'm a proofreader by profession. So typed things, I'd be very fussy about that. But then my own actual handwriting is just like, yep, just F. All of a sudden there's a capital F in the middle of a word. And like, who cares? Plus, too, because my handwriting is atrocious. And I'm usually the only person who's reading it nowadays because everything is done textually. So it's like, sure, it's only me who's going to mind about that. But
Yeah.
The thing is, in talking about the note, like, because of how polite it is and the fact that it is written on this, Batman letterhead and stuff, this really strikes me as like, this was Alfred wrote this note. This was like, Batman wouldn't have said anything, but he's like, oh, sir, it might be courteous of you to send a notice to the Penguin. Like, Alfred's actually hidden in the back there with Batman, and it's like, Batman's about to storm off, and Alfred's like, excuse me, young monkey, sir, could you come?
Young monkey, sir. That's my favourite line you've come out with. Well, the monkey arriving back at the lair with the note here, in the strict revised draft, there's yet another groan-worthy part, which didn't make the final film, thank God, because the Penguin spies the monkey and says, so, where's the kids? Don't tell me they stopped at McDonald's.
That's awful.
Cut.
That's really just like, oh, we need to get some product placement in the movie as well. I was like, oh, that'll make them happy. It could have been like that was actually in the final film as well, and then that was the point McDonald's were like, get our name out of this damn film.
No, thank you.
It's like, we are already pissed enough at you guys. Get us out of there. I don't want to see anything approaching an M in this film.
Well, and this note is kind of the perfect distillation of it, because I before we get too off the handwriting, it's Bob Kane's handwriting. Like, he wrote that note.
Mm.
So it is Batman with the capital B, period, end of, this is Batman. It just so happens that this is Batman Returns, a Tim Burton movie, so weird. And then my next note was, I miss when Batman movies were fun. And so it's like, this is silly. This whole, a monkey delivering a note to the Penguin, and what the note says is fun.
Yeah, I think that's why I love this movie, because to me it's the best blend of the styles. It's got some serious, dark, twisted stuff, and then some absolutely insane stupidity, which is wonderful.
Almost like comics.
I really love it just as like, it's just a baller move as well. It's an indication as well of like, because when we see Batman in the movie, he's so stoic and silent and stuff, but we know from like having seen Bruce Wayne and stuff, we know, and particularly in the first movie, like that's the Bruce Wayne who did the, you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get. So we know this guy's got like a really weird side to him. That's not just the blank, Batman side. So the fact you'd never see him do it, but the fact that this version of Batman would think like, this will be pretty funny. I'm gonna send a note with the monkey.
Yeah, there's something really playful about it that delights me.
Yeah, you can imagine Bruce sat there giggling to himself coming up with this plan.
It's rubbing salt in the wound too, because this is just after, oh yeah, I took down your whole mayoral campaign, and you had to flee and jump into a river because of me, and then now it's like, oh, you're going to do this thing. I also screwed you over there as well.
Yeah, like the Penguin, before he even gets the note, he knows something's up. Like, you can see, he looks angry and scared all at once, which I think is fantastic acting through all the makeup and prosthetics.
Yeah,
because he knows, oh, this plan's already coming to an end. I think like something
no
has
good
happened.
is going to come of this.
No,
this monkey's not supposed to be here.
Delivering messages as well. Oh my god! And you get
and earning his SAG card if monkeys get SAG cards, because
I hope they do.
Apparently, it took a lot to get him to hand over this letter.
Oh yes.
I mean, like, we probably should, because we alluded to it earlier. Tierney, do you want to tell the story of what happened with the monkey and Danny DeVito?
Well, okay, so it's just that Danny DeVito looks very scary. I mean, in the next moment when he responds, like that close up, that's gross. The makeup, it looks like the orcs or the Urukai from Lord of the Rings. It's just disgusting. And he's a very scary guy and he's acting angry. And when you're a very small monkey who's been asked to deliver a letter, it's very scary. And so he was terrified. So instead of handing over a letter, he attacked, how did DeVito put it? The family jewels?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yup. I
That's
mean,
what he
big
said.
time. Like the medic on set had to come make sure Danny DeVito
man.
was okay.
It's great as well. You get on like a UK chat show, the
Yeah,
Graham
Graham Norton.
Yeah. He's Danny DeVito telling the story, and he's actually sat next to Ewan McGregor and Sam Neill. That's weird because Ewan McGregor's going to be Black Mask in friggin' in a Batman adjacent movie pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
But it's just the fact that Ewan McGregor looks like a pretty baffled, and Sam Neill is just howling with laughter at this. He's loving this story. But the thing, DeVito was saying afterwards is like, because luckily he had all the padding and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, there was a significant chunk taken out of that padding. So it's like, if that hadn't been there, like I wouldn't be here to tell this story. Like,
Oh my god.
Not all of
never
me
work
would
with
be here
animals.
to tell this story.
I think like it was literally like, oh, sorry that happened, Danny. Well, take two. Just straight back out and did it again.
Are you bleeding to death? No? Okay, carry on. You'll be fine.
Just taking notes from that Stanley Kubrick way of doing things. Like, what? Oh, he slit open his eye. Oh, we'll just use the other eye. It'll be fine.
Use it in your performance. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can make anything like that work.
You could say that maybe that's why DeVito's approaching with a, where are all the children? Approaching with genuine terror.
You also get a really lovely shot of his finger/flipper nails here as he's holding the note. Like they look all like shriveled and withered, like he's been in the bath too long, or they're made of raisins.
That'd be the ironic thing of like everything else about the penguin was disgusting, but he had really good nails.
Yeah, he just gets them done once a week.
And it's like it does. The reason everything else looks so bad is that there's much like that guy said, no reflective surfaces in the sewer. But you can see his hands at least, so he's like, oh no, I maintain those.
We also get a wonderful shot of his hideous gob, his gaping maw as he screams in fury. That's a great. Like you can see every jagged tooth, every dripping bit of fluid.
And Peter Jackson was taking notes like, close up of drippy black mouth.
Yeah, that'll work. I can use that.
Yep. And also, clowns.
Well, you need clowns, of course.
Yeah, can't be an evil mastermind without clowns.
If this series has proven anything to be true, it's that.
I also wonder if there's like a thing as well, like on set, they're like, you can't really see how sharp his teeth are. Can we have a shot where you just like zoom into his mouth? Because we spent a lot of time in those dentures. So come on, give him a glory shot at least.
I mean, we said the same thing about Catwoman's claws. You don't get enough shots of those things. You only see them twice.
Yeah. One other thing I should be saying, like, I think it's slightly strange, is that the Batman Leatherhead, like whether this was specifically ordered for the Batcave, or like whether Alfred just in his spare time he enjoys making letterhead pages for Master Bruce or whatever. And plus also is like, what's Batman, does he keep like a little thing in his belt, like a pen and like a little tear off notebook? And he's like, all right. This is like when he's leaving out like his own parking tickets. He's like, oh, that guy's illegally parked by a hydrant. Just the Batmobile zooms up, just jumps out, leaves a little note. It's like, I'll better put a little bat symbol on it so he knows it's not from the police, it's from me. But that bat symbol, it's slightly off. It's not technically the bat symbol on his breastplate on the suit.
No, it's not.
Kind of like, I mean, we've had this the whole damn Burton saga, because the symbol he had in his suit the last movie wasn't the symbol that was tied into the marketing, and wasn't the symbol on the bat signal.
No.
And this is just like, the little prongs are too long and stuff. And I know from a lifetime of attempting to draw the bat symbol, it's impossible to get that thing right by freehand. So,
well, maybe that's to make it more realistic.
I would absolutely watch a Saturday morning, 15 to 30-minute show of Alfred's Crafting Corner, where he explains how to do the pressing for the, and so each one is going to be handcrafted, so they all would be a little different.
Oh, keeps them exclusive.
There's also the chance too that like this wasn't like a printed on thing. This was like Batman was waiting for like the Red Triangle gangs.
He doodled it.
He's
He's just sitting
doodling.
doodling the bat symbol, and he's like, "Oh, there they are. I'll just use this paper. It'll be fine."
It seems appropriate.
And the back has got that weird S that everyone used to do in school.
Yes. I actually researched what that was recently because it just dawned on me. I never found out, so I looked into
There
it.
isn't. I watched like a whole thing that was trying to follow these leads on what it could, like a few things that it could be, but there is no
Yeah,
definitive answer.
I think the
just
closest someone
is.
got wasn't it related to the clothing brand Stussy or something? But
They
that was
were one of the first ones to use it, but they got it from somewhere.
Yeah, they didn't just invent it out of nowhere. So I think
Yeah.
that was the closest the thing I saw got to an answer, but it wasn't that.
You find out even like way back in like the time, like the Greeks used to doodle this on. They used to etch it on the back of their tablets while they were in school as well.
Oh, it's in the human psyche.
It'd just be in cave paintings. They've just got that doodled beside a proper cave painting. This is a thing. Oh yeah, that's what the kid was doing while the parents were actually drawing the cave paintings and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
having an S last name, it's very near and dear to my heart.
Oh, that would have been perfect at school. You could just make that part of your name. That's amazing. Well, I used to, because my initials are JP, and I absolutely adored Jurassic Park. Loads of the merch had made a logo that mixed like a J and a P into like one fancy looking letter. So I would always do my initials like that, like Jurassic Park. Yeah.
I wonder if there's any kid who has the initials JW who's had the same benefit from Jurassic World.
No.
was like, oh, as they find out, like, no, they didn't do that. It's like Jurassic World just getting everything wrong. What the hell you do?
It is
not the
remarkable
same.
how people turned around on that movie. When it first came out, everybody was like, this is incredible. And then very quickly, it seems to be like, I'm the only person still going, it's okay. It's pretty good.
I was going to say, it is okay, but I was like, nah, it's not really.
It is okay.
I was about to say, yeah, it's okay, and then it's got flashes of random scenes with Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt, and I'm like, oh wait, no, those are all pretty bad.
Aww.
That suffers from a few tweaks would have made it so much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so even though your baseline isn't so terrible, that almost makes it worse because it's like, this was so close. It was so
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
see the really good movie that it could have been,
It's in there.
but isn't.
That's the one thing that really bugs me. The scene where there's a bit where Bryce Dallas Howard saves those kids by like shooting down a pterodactyl or something. Like she literally has it on the floor and shoots it, and it's like this is a great moment for her. And then like 2 minutes later, the kids are insisting that they want to be with Chris Pratt
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because he's the hero, and it's like,
She
didn't you see what
could've
she just
been-
did? why are you favoring him?
She was so close to being an amazing badass, like Princess
Yeah.
Leia level badass.
That should have been her arc.
And then they didn't.
They completely went back to the trope of, oh, yeah, it's all about them just falling in love and he's going to, like, rescue her. Okay.
Yep.
Let's not go on this rant.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be a Jurassic World minute at some point.
All right, okay, come on.
Well-
Army of penguins.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Penguins.
This is wonderful because the penguin, a spotlight is shining down upon him. Are we going to get a circus act, a play? No, we're getting a speech, a rallying cry, a call to war to a group of penguins. Onward, proud penguin proletariat. We stand on a threshold, apparently.
Yeah, got a nice little light show from one of the clowns there. Again, I feel compelled to say it every time he shows up because in case the guests don't know, but that clown is Doug Jones from
Wow.
The Shape of Water and stuff. And as I should say, because Sean German pointed out in the listeners page, he's also in Mystery Men. So there you go, Sean. We mentioned it.
Doug Jones is like the patron saint of Movies by Minutes.
Oh, God, yeah, he's in a lot more than I realised. Like, I love him, but he pops up in everything when you research him.
Yeah.
Except Star Wars. Can we get him in Star Wars?
Yeah, they got time. Well, I guess that
Wrong show.
Yeah.
He's in the other star.
Yeah, true. You can cross these boundaries now. It's fine. Simon Pegg did it. Kind of.
Yeah, that's only because he's buddies with JJ. So it's just like, oh, maybe if Dougie and JJ were hanging out together, He would have been all over Star Wars. But
Yeah. Oh, you could be a Wookiee or something, surely.
oh yeah, totally.
Oh, definitely.
The penguin's right here, right? Because he ends his line with, "We stand on a threshold," and then the minute ends. So we are on a threshold. It's legit.
Yeah.
And I, as a vegetarian, animal rights activist, and a socialist, I firmly back this penguin uprising. I am 100% behind this. I want them to succeed.
Yeah, just John pulling a Kent Brockman here. Like, and I, for one, welcome our new penguin overlords.
You are going to love the next minute, sir.
Oh, yeah. I won't be too much of a fan of the outcome, perhaps.
No. This is the fact, though, again, where he said threshold. I know Gary had backed me up on this. I'm just waiting for Sex Bomb to kick in now. With
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like, that's the only way this scene could get even better. that just kicks in all of a sudden now.
Amazing.
I think you have something to work on for your Facebook group to post. Get your Mocane's editing software running.
It's perfect.
But yeah, because that is the end of the minute. Does anyone have any other notes on this particular minute? Or should we move on to the next one?
I'm all done.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yes, well, before we head off into the dark, dark night, would our two wonderful guests like to tell our listeners where they can find them online and any work they would like to promote? Promote anything you want.
Anything we want. That's a...
Anything.
Ooh.
I mean, we had a guest recently promote vasectomies, so there you go.
Beautiful. Perfect. Well, I'm Gary Roby. I'm from Harry Potter Minute, which is over on the Dueling Genre Network with a whole bunch of other shows. Spider-Man Minute, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Lord of the Rings. Lots and lots of shows. So you can find that over there. I also did Ferris Bueller's Minute Off like 2 years ago now. So that's all done. God. People go find the whole entirety of that. It's like 100 episodes. It's very, very quick. This is the time of year in the summer where I watch that movie the most. So
hell yeah.
People can go check that out over on Dueling Genre.
And I'm Tierney Steele. I am also a multi-show person like Carrie, although I've been all over the place. I'm currently working on MASH Minute, which is independent, so mashminute.com. I will eventually figure out how to link our RSS feed to it.
It is surprisingly difficult.
It's the little things that get you up where it's like, cannot validate DNS. I don't even know what these words mean. Just link it.
They do not make it easy. You think that'd be the first step from like iTunes and stuff. Like, let's make this simple.
Yeah.
No.
Wouldn't you like free content that I've made for the world that you can promote? Like,
no.
Come on. But if you find me on Twitter or Instagram, well, on Twitter, I'm at OneSteelSister, ONESTEELE. Whatever, One Steel Sister. You know how to spell things. That has the links to my shows, because I've done 4 shows now, and they all are through different networks or independent, so I don't have a good catch-all place. That's become, my Twitter profile has become my catch-all place, where it's like, all right, if you go here, you're going to find it.
That's all you need. That's perfect. You've diversified your portfolio. It's the modern way of doing things. That's what you do. Synergy.
Beautiful.
Cross-promotion. But yes, do check all of those out, listeners, and check us out on Facebook at the Bat-Minute Listeners Cave, which I'm sure you probably do already, or on Twitter at Bat-Minute, and leave us a review on iTunes, because you're lovely, and we love you too. Join us again on Wednesday for more Bat-Minute Returns.
Next time, Sermon in a Sewer. A rancid ragamuffin rallies to rabble-rouse a group of not-quite puffins. But as the penguin's parlance tells them that theirs is not to reason why, which reproductive regions are promised to be blown sky high? Find out Wednesday. Same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute.